Grab some seats over here.
Howdy, folks. Hello, hello. I think it's working. Okay, well, I'm going to invite over, a lot of this was, of course, filmed in the Philippines, but I'm going to invite over who we had from this side of the pond to talk about the film. So, of course, first of all is our producer, Malou Kamrad. And then they're with us the whole time as our incredible sound man. I'm going to summon up Ryan Kimmery. Are you here, Ryan? Come on over. Can't let you escape. Okay, and then also Edwin, come on over. Got some of our cast. Edwin and Meredith, come on over. You guys are here to tell us all about it. How do you want this one here? Yeah? Why don't you take the third one? I'm just going to stand. Who's going?
Alright, maybe I'll get into it. So the first question, which you got into a little bit before the movie, is what all inspired you to make like this particular movie?
The inspiration, the sort of moment that I realized I wanted to make this movie, I spent a couple of months with Malou in the Philippines after we made our previous film, and I was there long term, and Hurricane Haiyan, Yolanda in Philippines, but Haiyan happened, and then we had no electricity for like a long time.
3 months.
Yeah.
3 months.
Are these going? Should I just yell? Are these doing anything?
I'm not sure.
No?
Hello?
I'll just yell.
Yeah.
So the hurricane happened and there's no electricity. So every night, it's totally dark and we're
candlelight.
Doing everything by candlelight. And Malou started telling me all these stories of mythology in the Philippines that sounded incredible. And it was very evocative being there and hearing these. We don't have the usual accommodations and everything, and so it occurred to me like, hey, this is really like what the next movie should be. And then the next thing that really triggered it was I went back to America to finish our previous film that Malou and Ryan also worked on, Far Away, and Jolie out there also worked on our film Far Away. And on our very last day, we had a makeup artist who, she was like the third or the second assistant makeup artist, but she was Filipino. And she went to the after party with us, and she was like, hey, can I show you something? And she showed us like the makeup effects that she had done. And she was like, I can do this for a budget for your next thing. Like, I can do some stuff. And I realized, like, oh my God, I found a movie. Like, this person is a movie. And I realized, like, I have to base the next movie off of what she could contribute, that she could do these insane makeup things based on Philippines mythology.
And then any good stories about just kind of how you selected your cast or your crew? Just any of your process for that?
I try not to audition people these days, like just out of preference. And of course, Dana, who plays April in the movie, she was the star of Far Away, so we had to bring her back. Jessica Neidstadt, who plays Miranda, the Aswang, she is a YouTuber. She's a pretty big YouTube star and does a lot of sort of fashion YouTube things, and she's really awesome. And like, we reached out to her and got her on board, and it was so great to work with her. And then of course Jake Macapagal is our he's from Metro Manila, and if anyone hasn't seen Metro Manila and wants to see a really great Filipino film, Metro Manila is really amazing, and Jake is great in it. And my way of getting Jake aboard was, I reached out to him, and we hit it off, and eventually we decided to work together, and that's pretty much it.
And then you said we had a couple cast members over
Yeah,
here?
so we've got Meriden and Edwin. I want you guys to tell your perspective. How did you guys get cast?
Oh man. Well, it's been a long time ago. I mean, I just remember Randall, like, one time, like, I think we were like chatting, and I like came over the house and you showed me some of the work you've done. Like, I know that does a lot of the visual effects, and that's how I first like known Randall, was like more of the visual effects. Well, at least when you were showing me the work, and it was very. Of course, I'm very very interested in mythology. And honestly, like you said, there was no audition. So, I mean, I love to network, and I think that with my networking skills, thankfully that he considered me. So I just feel very blessed to be part of it. I mean, I know that you've been filming for a very long time, and so, and we've already seen the film, but it was like during the pandemic. So this is actually my first time seeing it on screen, and it's a completely different experience, you know. And like and it's so funny. It's like I felt like I was watching it like for the first time because you know, you're like going into the film, like you're part of that experience. And yeah, and and I guess Randall just said, hey, can you pretty much do the scene? You're gonna be in a bikini, and and then sure, okay. So I'm glad that I was able to be part of it. So, and then Edwin, I found out Edwin was gonna be in it too.
Yeah, I didn't know you were coming in a bikini. It's like, oh.
I was like, okay. I just pretty much he just told me.
Yeah, I mean, like it's different with me because it's like I think Randall came towards me. I think he liked. I produced a film called Samurai Cop 2 that we did in 2015, and I think he kind of liked it a lot. And we had, you know, it was a big deal at the time. But you know, I didn't want to produce the movie. Like, there was no inclination there, but he wanted me to act in it because I know you shot stuff, everything in the Philippines. What else is there to shoot? So obviously he created a role that I thought was kind of fun. If you saw the takes that we did, it was just crazier than what we had up there. But yeah, it was just get a barong, and I had my dad's barong, which is not properly a barong. I feel kind of bad, but in the long drive to his place, which is crazy because that's like where you guys live.
I'll go down the canyon to film more.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, we shot it at this place. He shot it to match the Philippines, and it looks like we're in one location pretty much, just watching the film. And yeah, that's it. Just played the character the way he wanted it to, and he just chose the takes that he preferred, something like that. So yeah.
Thank you for doing it. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
And then a question for our crew, like what intrigued you most about working on the movie? Which part of working on it?
I'm assuming that's me.
That's you.
Well, I worked with Randall on his original film in the Philippines in 2012, Far Away. And I'll tell you one thing that carried over from the previous film to this film, no matter where you go, you're going to hear a rooster. So it made it kind of tough, you know, to do the audio work. And I remember one scene where the Aswang falls to the ground in the grass, and she's with Christina. And we're filming that scene, and I kid you not, a parade comes down the street of about 60 or 70 people with drums, and it's just like, okay, what do we do? You know, so we wait, you know, a good 5 or 10 minutes so they're out of earshot. So it definitely was a wild ride, I can tell you that. And just a little history between Randall and I, we both worked at Fry's Electronics back in 2010, 2012. That's where we met.
I was like, do you want to do a movie?
Yeah. So we were working the retail gig for a while, and he was saving up to work on his first, I guess, is that your third, Far Away?
We don't talk about the other one.
Okay, yeah. Your first. Yeah. And I remember, an adventure of a lifetime. I'm 20-something years old early, and he's like, hey, let's go to the Philippines. And at first, I'm like, no, I don't know if I want to do it. But then it kind of just sat in my ear. I'm like, wow, this could be something. And sure enough, we were over there a long time. We were there for about 5 months.
Yeah,
with Jolie as well.
Away.
She was our continuity at the time. And it was a great experience. So I was champing at the bit to get back and do another scene with you. And funny enough, I didn't realize it the first time I was watching the movie, or maybe the second time. We were in a band as well at the time. And we had a few songs, and I noticed one of our songs was actually in the film.
One that you wrote, and I don't know if I asked you.
It's okay. All right. I was looking for the credits. I didn't see them. Like, let's get to my agent on the phone here. But yeah, it was. Other than that, it was just a good experience. It was fun. I mean, we were on the top of like vans driving around, and it was just like it felt like an adventure. And so, yeah, definitely enjoyed it. It was fun to work on from a crew perspective.
For a few more questions here, so I actually wanted to ask, what was it like for working in the Philippines, like stuff like the cave scene, like what was all that like? What was the experience like going to film somewhere like that?
I'll say about the cave. jump on.
We rented an entire resort. I mean, I did. No. Cave scene was in Hindang Leyte. Oh my God, that was really tough. Personally, as the producer of the film, I kind of like just, okay, that's the location, that's where you guys are gonna film, and I just escaped. Because I knew that they're gonna, oh my God, where am I? Of course, because bat poops, you know, and everything. That was all real, and I was like,
It was the location, like if shooting in the
was totally
Philippines is a location shoot, this was
Yes.
the location shoot inside of the location shoot. But we had to
Yes.
get onto all these vehicles in the morning and then like
2 in
drive
the
out
morning.
to the cave.
2 in the morning, drive out to the cave for 3 hours. We camped at our resort that I kind of like bought the entire place. And then we went to the cave. We had to go upstairs, and thousands of monkeys. Like monkeys.
Yeah, there were monkeys.
And they were
yeah.
like, it's fine, they're friendly, you know, like I had an agreement and a deal with the tourism department, so I knew that everything's gonna be safe, but that was really tough for the filmmakers and the actors, so I just escaped. I'm like, I'm gonna be out of here, you know.
We shot one day in like the big part of the cave that had like a lot of bats, and the floor like the floor was not stone or anything. It was just layer upon layer of bat poop. So
And
it was,
cockroaches.
yeah, so it was just goo was the floor, and basically by the end of the first day, the actors I remember were like, Randall, we don't know about shooting another day in this cave, but we found another cave a
Yes.
little bit away, and they had found another cave that had stone floors, and for some reason the bats had not chosen this part of the cave. So we shot the second part in there, but yes.
Yeah, they blamed me for it, but I was like, no, you know what? It was the director's fault. But yeah, they had fun, and it was thanks to the government of Hindang in Ormoc City.
I remember Jake at the end, like after shooting the first cave bit with the bat poop, he told me afterwards, he was like, Randall, that was, I think, the hardest day of acting I've ever had in my life, but it was worth it. And I was like, oh yeah, you justify that. Okay.
Yeah, we had to climb up. It was like, how many steps was that? Like
A lot.
a lot.
Ryan, you remember, yeah.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I mean, like literally this cave, it was slippery to step on, but not only that, we had umbrellas because it was raining
yeah.
bat guano.
Guanos, yes.
So in between shots, the actors just had to lean underneath umbrellas.
Yeah, we'd yell cut and people would rush over them.
Yeah.
And then later, when we got back to America, and I discovered his talents about VFX, and I was like, oh my God, why didn't we just do VFX for the cave? Are you kidding me? But thanks to Monsters Without, he discovered his talents, VFX. Yeah.
And then how are the scenes with like the burning village done?
Oh yeah, we built the village. So in Faraway we made one hut, and we were very happy because we were able to destroy the hut at the end of the scene. And then for this movie, we're like, what if we had a bunch of huts? So we found a place that was willing to let us build a bunch of huts, and we built them all. And then, you know, of course, as you saw happened, and we realized it's much better if instead of just falling down, if we burn them. So we burned
It
the
was
huts.
my dad. No.
Yeah.
The island where we filmed at, that's where I grew up. That's where Randall's mom grew up. We met coincidentally during Faraway.
Mhm, yep.
Yes, and that's pretty much why I became the producer of the film. All the locations and everything, I was in charge of it. So burning of the hat, well, visual effects. We burnt one, and I was like, no, you cannot burn any hut at all. You cannot do it. And then when I came back from the town to buy food for everybody, and I was like, my dad was like, yeah, we did it. I was like, what? You have to wait for me. And then my dad was like, nah, it's fine. It's my cousin's land anyway. I'm like, oh, Randall, okay.
There's the one shot where there's a hut that we use a telephoto lens, so it looks like it's closer than it is, but it is kind of close to the jeepney, and they're all in there imprisoned, and then the hut burns and falls down in camera right behind them. And you know, they're a distance away, so we felt they were safe. But what wound up happening, of course, is as soon as we light the thing and we say action and the actors start doing the take, the wind starts blowing all the ashes right at us. And
Yes, I remember that.
so you can see in the thing, like all the ashes are coming at us. We're like, oh boy, but it worked out at least. It wasn't.
They were safe.
Yeah.
Everyone was safe.
All right, and that is the time we have for the questions. And make sure to check out the movie again when it releases on demand July 18th, I believe it is.
Yay.
So-